Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com. Today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Link 9 Light Blown Glass Round Pendant. Lots to say there. This is part of that link series. There's also a singular link too that's pretty cool. Check that out. And also linear versions too. Those are going to be under dining pendants as well. Okay, this is the 131100. Lots to talk about. So let's get into overall height. Actually, overall height's 19 inches to 130, but that's kind of divided up into two different ranges. So when we talk about overall height, we're really talking about the distance from the bottom of the fixture, the very bottommost part of the lowest one, to the ceiling itself. So that's going to be, you've got two in that pull down menu that says choose your length. You've got standard is going to be 19 inches to 80 inches. Remember, that's overall height. And then long is going to be 19 to 130. So that should be able to accommodate most of you guys who are doing big, tall foyers, like in stairways, that kind of thing. If you're thinking of putting this on a sloped ceiling, drop me a quick email. I want to see what you're up to, okay? When we get into the size of the fixture body, that's going to be independent of those hanging cables, okay? So you've got 16.1 inches tall, and then 20.5 inches in diameter. It's going to be just a series of these pieces of glass that are kind of going down, staggered, kind of going down, if you want to do it that way. And you can really have them any way you want, but staggering is the way to go. Canopy up in the ceiling is 20.5. We'll talk about more about that in a second. Let's talk about glass. So this is Hubbardton Forge is sourcing a lot of their glass from this beautiful little studio up in Burlington, Vermont, called Exo Glassworks. They're on Pine Street. If you guys ever make it into Burlington, Vermont, which is on Lake Champlain, you can actually go into they have a store too, so check them out. But this is going to be using two different types of their glass. It's going to be using clear, and this is not clear. This is clear with white threading, and the other one is obviously clear. So you got two options to play around with. And remember, you're going to be able to see through this, and you're going to be able to see what's going on inside. And we'll talk about aesthetically pleasing light bulbs in just a second. But it's a really beautiful piece of glass. So like I said, if you ever get a chance to check it out and go up there, it's really thick too. It's heavy. So love it, love it, love it. Okay, now let's talk about what's inside of this. So actually, let's talk about that canopy up on the ceiling. So think of a couple things about the canopy. 20.5 inches in diameter. This whole thing is coming in at 34.2 pounds. So you're going to want to tell your installer that you do have something that's 34 pounds, just so they do the what's going on at the top. So the canopy is going to be going over this standard for instruction box. And when you look at the installations instructions, which you can see right now on our website over on that side of the screen, midway down, it's going to be under those pull down menus. Open that up for me. It's going to show you an entirely full parts list, how the whole thing goes together. It's going to show you how that canopy, all the cables going up are going to connect inside to each other to a transformer, because remember, this is going to be low voltage LED, and how it's going to attach to your ceiling. So feel free to take that link and shoot it over to email it to your installer so they get a good idea of what you guys are doing. The other things about that install sheet, it can show you all kinds of things on the inside of how the socket setup is. It also talks about when you are putting the cables up and you feed them into what are called grippers, and those are those little silver things on the canopy. There's 9 of them. You can actually push those in to back the cable out if you want to. It kind of unlocks it basically, so you can go in and out just to kind of get them staggered the way you want them to be. And then once you're done, then you would be doing everything up in that canopy. Okay, let's go beyond that. Canopy, when you get into the finish on this, there's a pull down menu for your finishes, and it'll always talk about on all of these round fixtures. You have a whole bunch of these 9 light fixtures going on. You have the faceplate is going to be the same finish as the rest of the fixture down below. The part of it that is we'll call it the can. That's going to be the canopy part. That's rounded. That's touching your ceiling. Is always going to be in black. It's just a little detail to remember. Okay, moving on from there. Let's talk about bulbs and what's inside of this. So, like I said, it is a low voltage fixture. You're going to be using what's called a G4 LED that you're going to be sourcing yourself. And the reason we have you source them yourself is because you can choose the intensity of the light and the color of the light. Okay, and I tend to like to get these things on Amazon. Not pushing Amazon, not a huge fan. However, huge fan when it comes to the availability of LED bulbs. They're a great source. So go on Amazon, in the search, just put G9 LED, and you're going to have just a big giant page of what's going on. So the max on this for each bulb is going to be 4 watts. And a 4-watt LED, especially in a low voltage G4, is going to be the equivalent of a 40-watt halogen. That's a lot of lumens. And remember, you've got 9 of these, so you don't have to go that high up. You know, when you get into how these things coordinate with the old versions, you would say like a 4-watt LED is about a 40-watt, a 1.5 watt to a 2-watt LED is going to be about a 20-watt. So it's really up to you. Like I said, because this thing is going to be clear, you're going to be able to kind of browse those bulbs and look for something that's going to be kind of aesthetically pleasing, because you're going to be able to see it to a point. It's going to be kind of encased in something, but it's still. Okay, from then on, I also noticed something else when I was looking at those bulbs. I noticed the color temperatures, which I talk about all the time, are on the lower end of that spectrum. So they tend to be on that very warm yellowish glow, like an incandescent bulb. You'll see a lot of those are going to be 2700 Kelvin, which I think would be very pretty coming out of this. I found a few of them that were 3000 Kelvin, and that's the light that's coming down on my hands right now from this bank of LEDs above me, which I actually ordered for my showroom because I wanted to play around with this exact fixture. Okay, let's get into finishes now. If you're on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over on this side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a tab. It's going to say Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. There's going to be a video on there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be talking about a chart a little farther down on the page. You'll see it next to me here. It's going to kind of go over the differences between heavy forging and non-heavy forging, and it'll be talked about in that video. So it's really important that you kind of watch the video, use the chart. You can click on that chart on different things. So you can click on dark smoke and a big page will pop up and show you lots of different things in dark smoke. Click on burnished steel or natural iron, it'll do the same thing. But it's really important that you understand how Hubbardton Forge's finishes are kind of divided into translucent and opaque, and how they can look on different fixtures. Our showroom in Vermont has we're up to 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's on Display page. It's way up there in those red tabs again, so click on that and you can see what we have to show you. That changes all the time because we're always adding things as they come out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. We have an amazing clearance center here too. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you were coming to visit us, bring a good-sized vehicle, something like a big SUV or maybe a small truck or something like that, because you might find something in the clearance center that you want to take home, and it's a lot of fun to go through. 75% off MSRP is an amazing bargain, so you should really take advantage of it if you can. Like I said, we're open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call us at 802-446-2400 during business hours. You can email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. We love to answer emails. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else even comes close to that. Some larger items are non-returnable. We'll always tell you about that. It'll be in the description thing, that part of the description underneath on the very bottom. So keep an eye out for that. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. They don't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes, your adjustable ranges to play with, all those things. We can cut that time in half, and it's super inexpensive. If you want to know more, drop a quick email, and I can walk you through the whole thing, okay? So if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Love to see you in our showroom sometime, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.